going on? What happened?
She saved you. She saved both of you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Television is one of the most popular forms of media in our society. People watch television for the creative storylines, to get an escape from reality, to bond with other viewers, and for various other reasons. So, we are interested to learn about the way that people create meaning from the television shows that they consume. One media consumption scholar, Jake Harwood, states that media may be used to bolster our sense of self as part of social groups. Therefore, people who watch television together or engage in media consumption together develop a sense of belonging to a specific group of people. This helps people to become more united with their friends and strangers alike. To see if Harwood's argument is valid, we interviewed multiple people who watch the show Once Upon a Time together every Sunday. We aim to learn why they watch the show, what they gain from the show, and how they incorporate the show into their everyday lives.
I like Once Upon a Time because it kind of offers a whole new spin on fairy tales. I grew up with fairy tales like around in my life all the time. I watched all these Disney videos and movies as a kid, so Once Upon a Time offers just a new different spin on them, and they kind of just makes me feel a sense of nostalgia, but it also is new and keeps me interested in the storyline and everything about
I
it.
watched Once Upon a Time because I really love the idea of taking a fairy tale story that I'm very familiar with, from my childhood, from whatever past Disney movies, and seeing a new twist on it. It's really cool to see, this parallel between, the fantasy world and the real world, and how the writers can creatively merge the two. Having so many storylines and so many different places these characters can be really keeps me engaged, keeps me on my toes, and helps me stay interested in the show.
So I really like how, since I've begun to watch Once Upon a Time, I've joined this really cool community. So I like to watch the show with my friends, whether we're in the same room together or texting during it. It's really cool to see what they're thinking. And I also like to go on Twitter, like during commercials, to see other people's reactions to the show. And like after every episode, I like to go on Tumblr to look at really cool fan art or read like fan theories about what's going to happen next. And it's just a really cool way to connect with other people that I otherwise wouldn't be connecting with.
We were looking for the author. I was hoping he could write me a happier story.
We call that Operation Mongoose.
I like it. It's got style. I'm in.
You are?
I made you a promise I intend to keep. Everyone deserves their happy ending.
This show has definitely made me think more outside of the box. It has a lot of plot twists in it, and it always is keeping me on my toes. And it's trying to make me think of like how to piece together the storyline and how everything like comes together. And it gives me a whole new look on fairy tales and all the like TV shows and movies I used to watch as a child. And I think that's pretty cool.
Once Upon a Time is my favorite show because I can relate to the characters so much. I just love the characters. Emma Swan is the main character, and just everything she does in like situations, I can relate to them all. How she battles with herself between good and evil, and just all the characters, you think that you know them, but then their entire story switches and you end up loving them. Even the most evil ones, you end up really caring for them in the end.
So much like on the show, the writers, have real world issues being dealt with on like a magical scale. I like to do the same thing that they do. I take, whatever happens on the show and see how different characters deal with conflict, perhaps differently than I would on my own, and maybe apply those different resolutions to conflicts in my own life. So not necessarily dealing with dragons or curses or whatever else they're dealing with on the show, but the principle of how each character dealt with those issues and taking those same skills or ideas and applying them to my own life.